Greetings out there in quarantine land. Hello, what a day. Today's herb is dandelion. You all know dandelion. Now, dandelion has quite the personality. Dandelion is one of those kind of pesky but perky personalities that maybe you feel like you kind of have a love-hate relationship with. It's amazing what people do with dandelion. The extremes that people go to get rid of dandelion. People will chop it up in a million pieces. They'll dig it up. They'll even poison the ground to get rid of them, and still dandelion comes back. Now, that's one of the things I love about dandelion is you can find dandelion anywhere. It is so resilient. Dandelion is one of those things that you can use every single part of the plant, and we'll go through each of those. So I'm going to focus on the dandelion again. Here they are. Okay, this is such the familiar flower. Everybody knows the dandelion. See how it's mixed with all these other leaves? I'm going to show you the dandelion leaf. This one here, this kind of toothy leaf that comes from a central stem and has these pointy leaves. And that's different from the surrounding leaves. These are buttercups. I want to tell you a little story about buttercups. There's no flower yet, but see how the leaf is totally different? This is the buttercup leaf, which are also toothy, but they're not as long as the dandelion leaf, because you can eat the leaves of dandelion. They're bitter greens. They're actually really good for liver cleansing and bile production in little bits, because they're pretty bitter. But I want to tell you a story about plants, because plants have personalities. So you see, actually, let me turn this around. All right, these are all buttercup. When we moved here, there was no buttercup. And we came and brought an iris in a pot, which must have had some buttercup in it. And when we planted the iris in the ground, the buttercup went crazy. And look at this. All of this came out of that one pot. It just took over. And what's interesting is it decided to go in this direction. It took a lot longer before it went in another direction, but it's mixed with dandelion. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know a little bit about the personality of plants. They decide where they're going to reproduce and thrive. And dandelion does the same thing. In fact, the reason why when you mow dandelions and they're still there is because they lay down. They sense the motor coming and they lay down. And then they pop back up when you're done cutting them. Dandelions are amazing. Okay, so they are part of the sunflower family. You will notice that when the sun shines, they're open, and then when the sun hasn't shined on them enough, they're closed. That's different from not quite opening yet because they're still in bud phase, but they respond to the sun like so many in the sunflower family. You can actually eat these petals. You can pull them off and sprinkle them in a salad, and I have a picture of a salad that has the 3 herbs that we've talked about so far, the borage, the lemon balm leaves, and then you can also add dandelion petals for color, and you can also add little bits of the dandelion leaf. You'll want to chop it up a little because it's really, really bitter, but you can definitely do it. Okay, so that's the leaf and the flower. So you're wondering maybe what about the rest of it? I'm going to dig up the root here with my handy dandy shovel. Okay, how to find it. Now, these things, if you want the medicinal properties of roots, the best time to dig them up is in the night when the root energy, when all the energy goes back down to the root. And then leaves and flowers are more medicinal in the daytime. I'm holding the phone and digging this up at the same time. Now, these are intense roots. Let's see. I'm going to put this here. Oh, well, we'll give it a try. I'm going to stand up and dig it up. But thank you, plant, for being the one to show off your root. And I want to show it to you because it's pretty darn cool. Okay. So So you kind of dig around it, and then you have to stick your hands in the dirt, and then you have to pull. Okay, that was not the best. You heard it break. Anyway, this is what the root looks like. So if you clean it off, you'll find in the center there's this white center of the root, and there's a brown surrounding it. You can dry those and roast the root, and it actually is used in some coffee substitute mixes. I'm looking and I see in here, let's see if you can see what I see. There's more root. See that white right there? That's what we want to dig up to get more root. But I think because there's more flowers around it, it doesn't want to come up. There it is. Okay. Here we go. That's a dandelion root. There it is. Okay, so it's brown on the outside, and then it's white on the inside. And you can clean and dry the root, and then you have roasted dandelion root. If you put it in the oven, maybe 250 for a little while after it's cleaned up, and then you can use it in a tea, and it's really good. It's in a lot of the blends that I use for liver cleanse tea, and sometimes it's just nice to drink because of the flavor. So here we have dandelion. Okay, what about the stem, you're asking? The stem, I have a really fun activity with dandelion stem and how to do this while holding the camera. You take the stem, this is just for entertainment value. You take your nail and you pinch it so that it's in two, and then you take each side and pinch it again so that you have 4. And then you're going to make this very cool curlicue design by pressing down like this. So you kind of have to press it equally. You could do it in just 2. I think that's how it's going to work on this one. You just kind of press and it's going to get curly. So the idea is, see how it's starting to curl? You can do that. You can pinch it and divide it and then work your way down and see how curly you can get it. Super fun. See that? It curls. That's entertainment. And then you all know what happens when the dandelion goes to see that. Isn't that fun? Look what you can do. You all know what happens after this kind of finishes, and it will turn into that wish flower. And then of course you could spread more dandelion that way, because what person doesn't enjoy blowing it, right? Okay. And that, my friends, is dandelion. Enjoy.